welcome to the class. Today we will see endangered species, right? Endangered species are those species which are on the verge of extinction. That means they are having a very limited member in their family, or you can say they are having a they are present in a very few numbers. They are very less number of organisms are present. So for example, let me tell you with example. Say for example, Indian rhino, right? Indian rhino, it is what? It is very less in number, right? It is on the verge of extinction, so we call it endangered species. If we talk about endemic species, this is a type of species which is found in a particular geographical area. They are means they are specific to one place. Like for example, Indian rhino, one horn rhino is found in Assam, right? So this is, we can say that it is an endemic species of Assam, right? So this is what we call endemic species. When a species is confined in a very particular area, or you can say in a particular geographical area, then we call it endemic species, right? Let's move to some example of critically endangered and endangered species, right? So if we talk about the critically endangered species, critically endangered, if we talk about critically endangered species, so this is an example of pygmy hawk, flying squirrel, and Malabar. These are what? These are critically endangered. That means these are on the verge of extinction, right? These are on the verge of extinction. If we talk about plants, then the plants which are critically endangered are your berberis, Diphtherocarpus, ilex. So these are basically scientific names. If you want to check their common name, you can check and write it down and also let me know. This is your homework, right? So the critically endangered plants are berberis, Diphtherocarpus, ilex. So I can give you one trick to remember this. Trick for remembering is, you know, IDBI bank, right? IDBI bank. So here I stands for ilex, D stands for Diphtherocarpus, and B stands for berberis. So this is to trick for remembering, right? So this is all about the critically endangered species. And pygmy hawk, flying squirrel, you can also remember PF for this. Pygmy hawk and flying squirrel, right? So now let's move to endangered species. If we talk about endangered species, it is your Asian elephant, red panda, Indian rhino. These are endangered. That means on the verge of extinction. Very few members are present, right? So we need to protect them. So example of endangered species are Asian elephant, red panda, lion-tailed mac, and Indian rhinoceros. And for plants, these are again plants, Capiris, Madhuka, Pterocarpus. So Capiris you can also remember like Madhuka cap. So Madhuka, right? This is, you can put it in one go. Madhuka, right? This is Madhuka cap. C stands for Capiris, cap, Capiris, and P stands for Pterocarpus, right? So this is again one more trick to remember the examples of endangered species of the plants, right? Now, these are the top 10 endangered animals found in a particular area along with their location, right? So if you say this is Bengal tiger, which is present in West Bengal. This is Asiatic lion, which is present in Gujarat. This is snow leopard, present in Himachal Pradesh. This is red panda, Sikkim. Black buck, Tamil Nadu. One-horn rhino, Assam, right? Extinct species. Example of extinct species are your dodo and saber-tooth tiger. Saber-tooth tiger means what? They are having this kind of tooth. This tiger only, but they are having two tooth. So you can also check it in Google. If you want to remember this, you can see the picture of this on Google, right? You can Google it. So if we talk about biodiversity conservation, so I think you know, right, why we need to conserve organism. We need to conserve organism because some organisms are on the verge of extinction, right? So to protect them, we need to conserve them, right? So if we talk about conservation is of two types: in situ and your ex situ conservation, right? In situ conservation includes protected areas, right, like your national park, sanctuaries, biosphere reserve, right? But in situ means what? When we protect the organism in their original position. In there, suppose for example, a tiger is found in a, if you say naturally it is found in a forest, right? So now you are protecting the tiger in forest only. So we call it in situ conservation. That means when we have protected the organism into their natural habitat, into their natural habitat, then we call it in situ conservation, right? So protected areas, national park, sanctuary and biosphere reserve. Ex situ includes outside from the natural habitat, or you can say not in the natural habitat, not in their natural habitat, natural, right? Okay, so example of ex situ is seed bank, cryopreservation, gene bank. These are stored, of course, these are in lab, right? So not in the natural habitat. If you have any doubts, you can ask me, right? Thank you so much, students. If you have any doubts, just let me know. We will, next class, we will discuss everything in detail. This is just an introduction of this endangered and critically endangered species. Next class, we'll see in detail. Okay, thank you, students.